talks aimed at securing a long-sought deal on Iran's nuclear program set to resume in the coming hours. Western diplomats are in Geneva meeting with Tehran's top negotiator. And now Russia's foreign minister is on his way to the Swiss capital as well. If an agreement is reached, it would be the first step in a two-part plan.
This was the confirmation that the talks were serious. Foreign ministers of the big Western powers, led by the US Secretary of State John Kerry, diverted planes and cancelled meetings to fly into Geneva. They came here because there seems to be a real chance to end the slow-burning but potentially catastrophic face-off over Iran's nuclear plans. At times in the last few years, it's looked close to causing another Middle East war. Now, there are hopes of an agreement. But given the history of Iran's relations with the West, this is a sensitive issue. And the Americans, conscious of deep suspicion at home and in Israel about Iran's motives, are doing all they can to manage expectations.
Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov of Russia, which is close to Iran, is also scheduled to join the extended talks. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi told reporters that they still have lots of work to do.
Russia was the first to signal good news.
There is a chance that a common, unified approach will be agreed, including a roadmap on finally ending this problem.
I want to emphasize there are still some very important issues on the table that are unresolved. It is important for those to be properly, thoroughly addressed. I want to emphasize there is not an agreement at this point in time, but the P5 is working hard.
The presence of other Western foreign ministers in Geneva added to a sense of optimism. In London, Britain's Prime Minister said the talks offer the chance of real progress. But diplomats say a breakthrough is uncertain and would anyway only mark the first step in a long process.
For Iran, it's all about sanctions. A member of the country's negotiating team told local media that the easing of oil and banking sanctions currently imposed on Tehran was a must in any deal. Comments echoed by the country's foreign minister.
When we believe that sanctions, all sanctions, are illegitimate, particularly sanctions that have been imposed outside the United Nations, have no basis in international law and in fact constitutes violations of international law.
Meanwhile, Israel's warned signing a deal would be a monumental mistake.
Iran gets everything that it wanted at this stage and it pays nothing. I urge Secretary Kerry not to rush to sign. It's the deal of the century for Iran. It's a very dangerous and bad deal for peace and the international community.
The P5, I think the international community is trying to arrive at a deal that might not be acceptable to Israel because it will include some level of enrichment in Iran, but is sufficient for the rest of the international community to feel secure about the breakout capacity of Iran. I think if there is an agreement, you will see a shift in the region. You already are seeing signs of shifting alliances in the region. You see Iran trying to get closer to Turkey. You see Turkey trying to mend fences with Iran. If Iran is more rational and more likely to abide by international regulations, then I think you will see, on the one hand, a realignment, but you will also see a hardening of positions amongst countries like Saudi Arabia, who have already indicated that they're very unhappy with these turns of events. There are reports of them negotiating with Pakistan about getting a bomb for themselves or having already paid for one. So it is potentially a very serious deal with far-reaching ramifications.